to the Occupational Therapist Passport USA program overview today, and this webinar is presented by myself, Katie Glaser, and we have our marketing director, the fine Andrew Lingo, with us this morning, who is lucky enough to help me with the computer. Otherwise, we would not be looking at a webinar this morning because I am not good with the computer. As the Director of International Recruitment, I am an educated and licensed attorney here in the United States. My job, I'm mainly responsible for the recruitment of medical professionals, whether that be OTs, PTs, med techs, nurses. I deal with credentialing, immigration, candidate relocation, client assignments, and the overall employment of the candidates. I have assisted many medical professionals coming very dense. There's a lot that goes into this. This is not an easy process, so you want to make sure you're a determined candidate. But Andrew sends out this great PDF that will have all the information that we're talking about today, so you can actually sit at home and take it all in after this as well. The purpose of today's webinar is it's ideally for Indian educated occupational therapists that are interested in coming and working here in the United States. We're going to answer questions like, who is Passport USA? What is the process of coming to the United States? We're going to talk about U.S. licensure, visa options. What is TOEFL? The U.S. licensing exam for OTs, which is provided by Endicott, and then U.S. employment options that we will have. Who is Passport USA? We are a division of Health Carousel, which is our parent company. International Recruiting and Staffing Company. We are based here in Cincinnati, Ohio, and we were founded in 2004. We currently have an office in the Philippines based in Manila, and we have also, we work with Indian agents that help our candidates come over. One of our agents that we work with is called Commit. Their main purpose is helping candidates from India get their general credits to come over and work here in the United States. So they're based in education and helping you meet the U.S. requirements, but they also work with us to have you come over and work with us here in the United States. We also have other U.S. partners such as International Auto Source, which helps candidates get cars, and TEP, which is a therapy prep course, but that's mainly based towards physical therapists. But we have lots of U.S. partners that are going to help you get here and work here in the United States. What does Passport USA do? We recruit foreign-trained healthcare professionals. Like I said, I help PTs, OTs, speech-language pathologists, RNs, med techs. We help them come and work here in the United States. We provide for our contracted candidates credentialing advice and reimbursements. So we will help you get, tell you how to go and get your English proficiency exam completed. How do you, register for Endicott? How are you going to be credentialed, licensed here in the U.S.? We are going to give you all of that advice. We have attorneys here in the office besides myself. There'd be John Dawson, who does specifically licensing and immigration. And then we also work with, outside counsel to help our candidates get here. We also sponsor U.S. visas. We sponsor H-1Bs, EB2s and EB3s to get candidates here working. We provide relocation assistance. We help you get set up on your housing. We provide you stipends for housing, and we help you get set up with your cars. You know, set up your bank account, Social Security. We do all of that with you because we want to be a partner with you. And then we provide you with U.S. employment with one of our many, many clients, whether those be hospitals, skilled nursing facilities, outpatient settings, or home health agencies across the United States. We work across the United States, all different states here. And as you can tell by this, oh, I'm sorry, I was skipping a slide. You know, again, like I said, our expertise is, you know, placing these types of candidates. And, you know, you can see there that we work with 2 outside immigration law firms, 2 of the leading immigration law firms here in the United States, which would be Masillo, Unkenhold, which you can, you know, go into their website and check them out, and also the Hammond Law Group. And another important thing to note, we are a founding member of the American Association of International Healthcare Recruiters. I know it's a big organization to say. So we shorten it down and call it the AAIRH organization. And this organization treats all recruitment of foreign trained professionals in an ethical manner. So this is something that we think is very, very important, that we treat our foreign trained candidates ethically and fairly. Now here on this beautiful map, you can tell some of the places that we currently have physical therapists by all those little dots. And obviously we don't just have like 3 candidates in Texas. We have lots because Texas is a giant state. But you know, by the end of the year, it would not surprise me if we have a dot in every single state here in the United States. We are growing leaps and bounds every day. We have, you know, foreign trained therapists in hospitals, skilled nursing facilities, in all of those states right now. And we're working to inch into every single state. So hopefully you're going to be on this map. You know, a lot of candidates, you know, when we start having our recruiters call them, their first question is, how much do we owe you? You don't owe us anything. U.S. Passport USA charges no fees to their therapist, 0 fees. We help you because once you sign on with us, there's a beneficial circle. Our clients are going to pay us for your services. We're going to pay you for the services that you're providing to our clients. So you have to think it's a big circle. Indian educated therapists are going to fund their own U.S. credentialing. So you're going to go and pay for your TOEFL and your transcripts and your educational remediation, which is approximately, I'd say about $5,000 for an OT. But we're going to reimburse you for that halfway before you get here, and then once you get here and start working, you'll get the other half. So although you pay for it up front, you get reimbursed for that so long as you keep your receipts. You know, we're going to pay for your visa, including all legal fees and filings for your H-1B. So, you know, if any other employer or agency is trying to charge you for that, that is illegal. You want to make sure that you are not paying for your H-1B. And then, you know, so I guess the biggest thing you're going to learn from all of this is you don't really pay for anything once you get here and start working. We pay you back for everything, and you're not going to pay us any sort of processing fee. You'll hear other agencies say, you know, there's a $3,000 processing fee for working with us. There is no fee for working with Passport USA. Once you become one of our contracted candidates, you're going to get reimbursed at the once you start working with us. All right, so let's get into it. Steps to coming to the United States. In order to qualify to work as an occupational therapist in the United States, you must do the following things, okay? And now these are not in any specific order. You do not have to do these in the order in which they're listed. Some of these things can be done concurrently. So you want to be selected by a U.S. employer and get visa sponsorship. That's normally, if you're already contracted with us, that's something that's probably going to come more at the tail end. You must meet credentialing evaluation requirements by OTED, which includes a specific academic preparation in field work, like you have to have your field work certified by OTED. You need to get a visa screen, which is called a VCVC. You must demonstrate competency as an occupational therapist by passing Endicott, which is the national licensing exam. You must secure a state license, and then you must secure a visa. So again, not all of those things. You know, a lot of them, I think if you wanted to start, you're going to start with English proficiency or credentialing first. But again, as we're going through this, you know, I was talking with Andrew this morning. I said, you know, this can all be very, very confusing. And, you know, he made a good point. We have trained recruiters and professionals here in this office that are going to walk you through each and every step of the way. So you want to make sure you're going to partner up with an agency that is going to walk you through each and every step of the way. Otherwise, you can get delayed in the process, and it can hamper you from getting here or wasting your money. This is not a cheap process. It is not money that you just want to throw away. So you want to make sure that you are working with the best so that you can get here in a timely fashion and without wasting your money. Now, one of the most important things to take away from all of this today is this slide right here. All internationally educated occupational therapists have to have a master's degree in occupational therapy to be eligible to take the Endicott exam. So you need to start processing right now because it is going to take you time to become eligible for this exam. If you do not possess a master's degree in occupational therapy, you can still qualify to come to the United States now, but you must do it quickly. We have a specific recruiter here in our office that is mainly trained on getting OTs through the process by this time period because it is so crucial that you go and take the test before then because the standards by Endicott are going to change. So your time's running out, and I have to say you must have a sense of urgency if you want to come to the United States. Okay, select an employer and a visa sponsor. Once you have decided you want to work as a medical professional here in the United States, you're going to need to select an organization that's going to assist you. Of course, I'm going to say that you need to select us. I truly believe we are going to be the best agency in getting you here to the United States. Not just that, we are the, in my opinion, the most supportive agency. I can tell you on a regular basis, I talk to all of our working candidates, all of them. I know about their families. I know about their birthdays. I know where they're living. I know when they need help with anything because I am there to help them. We are your home away from home. You are away from your home country. A lot of the times you are away from your extended family. We assist you in bringing your immediate family over, but we want to make sure that you are happy on where you're at and where you are working. So I have to say we're a supportive agency, we are a smart agency, and we will get you here. So I say at the end of the day you should select us because we are your best bet. Now to get into the nitty-gritty of, you know, how you are going to be eligible to become an occupational therapist. You are going to apply to an agency called Endicott. This agency looks for four specific criteria in determining an individual's eligibility to become certified as an occupational therapist. They're one, going to look at your education. Internationally educated therapists applying for approval to Endicott, they must be determined that they are substantially equivalent to the U.S. educational standards for an OT here. So they're going to say, hey, does this OT have the same education as an OT here? If they don't, they need to go back and get more coursework. If they do, great, we'll move them on to the next one. They're also going to evaluate whether your supervised experience is compatible. You are required to do 1,000 hours of field work in occupational therapy. They're also going to review your licensure. All current licenses that you hold must be, verified and encumbered. So that's an easy one. And then they're going to check to make sure that you have passed and demonstrated that you are proficient in English. So you're going to have to take the TOEFL exam. The hardest part of all of this is going to be right here. It's the educational evaluation. Whether they're going to evaluate your education and whether it is substantially equivalent to that of a U.S. degree. Now, first of all, you need to graduate right now, like I said, before July 1st, 2013. You can have a bachelor's degree from an accredited program recognized by Endicott, okay? But you must also either have a master's degree in OT that is from an unrecognized Endicott school, or a post-baccalaureate degree in a related field, or some sort of advanced coursework. Now, we have schools that are in different countries that have what you call a bachelor's degree, but it's really the equivalency of a U.S. master's. So right now, those will qualify. But, after July 1st, 2013, those will not qualify. You have to have the fancy word master's. Schools must be accredited by either the ACOTE, and those are only U.S. schools. So if you do not go to a U.S. school, just don't even bother looking at that. They must be accredited by the WFOT or a national government institution that approves OT programs like the Ministry of Health. So basically, the university has to be accredited somewhere. If it is not accredited anywhere, or if you don't know if it's accredited, contact us and we'll help you figure it out. But if it's not accredited, you're not going to qualify. But most schools do qualify, so if you have any questions, do call us so we can help you through the process. Only those who are found to have met the current U.S. educational standard are going to be eligible to complete the OTED process. So you're going to have the required documentation for an educational evaluation, okay? You're going to have to go get your transcript from your university and submit your transcript. You're going to have to submit, it's a form called the Master's Compatibility Content Evaluation Form, which is a large mouthful to say. It's just an application showing that your official academic courses reflect, what happened through the course of your graduation. And then the last one is if your transcripts are not in English, you'll need to submit your original transcripts that are not in English, and then an official translation. So those are the three required things that you're going to have to submit for an official evaluation. Transcripts, translation of a transcript, and then the compatibility evaluation form. It should be noted that any postgraduate qualification, so if you have a master's degree, okay, it doesn't automatically mean you are eligible for Endicott. So you want to make sure that you still have to submit the proper documentation for them to evaluate. You're going to have to submit the syllabus and the transcript. You can't just look down and say, I have a master's, I qualify. That's not always the case. So you can submit them to us. You can submit them to them. There's no specific way to say, hey, does my transcript, pass muster here? You're going to have to submit it for the determination by Endicott. I know a lot of candidates say, well, I have a master's, I automatically qualify. That's not the case. You want to make sure you're still submitting that, master's evaluation form, breaking down everything you did during the course of your education. Now, graduates from an Endicott recognized school, I'm just going to breeze over this. If you went to an Endicott recognized school, fill out the paperwork. It's, if it's a WFOT accredited school, ACTOE accredited school, which is the U.S. school, it's going to be a pretty easy process. You're going to complete, all the applications, fill out the documents, pay your fees, and then after that, they're just, they're going to continue on through the process. It's pretty easy for those types of schools. Graduates without Endicott recognized degree, okay? You want to submit the examination application and then receive, all the, this is kind of just a breakdown of what you're going to have to submit. Again, Andrew's going to send you the PDF of this. If you have specific questions about how to fill out the application, you can contact us. You can go through the Endicott OTED handbook, but we're going to be able to walk you through it every step of the way. But this is kind of just breaking it down, saying, fill out the application. This is what you're going to do. But the OTED application process, you're going to start with number 1, completing the form that we just talked about. You're going to you're going to send your results of your English proficiency exam. That's number 3 on the checklist. Number 4, they're going to require that you send your transcripts. It's got to be original transcript. It can't be just a copy that you have in your house. You're going to have to go to your school. You're going to have to request the transcripts. Again, if they're not done in English, you're going to have an official translation of those. Number 5, you're going to request completion of the program director form. Now, this is a form that needs to come directly from your program director from your OT program. This is not something you can have them fill out and then you send. It has to come directly by the program director. Oh, and then you're going to request for completion of the verification of academic credential form. That's pretty self-explanatory. You're just going to have to go and request that. Number 7, you're going to request completion of any OT license certification. If you have I'm about 99% sure. I know the PTs in India do not, they're not required to have a government license, unlike other countries. So if you are required to have a government license, you need to request to have those submitted directly, verified by the government. And there are definitely websites to be able to do this. Now, if you're also working in another country, I know other Indian OTs that work in the Middle East. If you had to get a license there, you'll also have to submit those licenses as well from the Middle East. Now, you may automatically know that you're going to need to do some remediation to meet the U.S. standard. We, like I said earlier, are working with a company called Commit. You can check out their website. Excuse me. They will help you review your transcripts unofficially, okay? So it's like going through the OTED process. They're going to go through them with you and say, you're likely missing the following. And this is how you can get the following courses. They are going to refer you to a university, refer you to other, study materials that you're going to need. They're going to help you take exams online to help you get ready for your Endicott exam. But this agency is going to be very beneficial for you when you are missing credits and you need assistance. They are based in India. So I would definitely check out their website. Then there is going to be, the English proficiency exam, TOEFL. Basically, you need to prove that you can speak English. So you're going to have to take the most likely the TOEFL IBT and score an 89 with a 26 in speaking to be able to get your visa screen, which is called the VCVC for OTs. There are exemptions. Obviously, this is not going to probably apply to most Indian candidates, but if you have received a degree from the United States, Australia, Canada, except for Quebec because they are French speaking, Ireland, New Zealand, and the UK, if you have gotten a degree from there, and I know Indian candidates that have gotten degrees from there, you do not have to take the TOEFL exam, and it will not be required for you to get your visa screen. But we are also working with another company who helps candidates pass TOEFL, because that is an extremely challenging thing for candidates from India and from the Philippines and different countries. TOEFL is scary. So we have practice exams. We have companies that we're working with tutorials. TOEFL is something that you want to do as soon as possible to get it over with, but you want to make sure that you've studied for it, because it's, it's not a 30-minute test to check and see if you're doing, TOEFL right. It's, a 4-hour exam. So you want to make sure that you're good at it.
One thing, Katie, I want to add there is that I've seen a number of resumes where candidates have taken IELTS, and for the U.S. visa screen purposes, IELTS is not accepted, so you will have to take the TOEFL.
Yes, thank you, Andrew. All these things that you have completed along the way, you want to include those on your resume. Like, if you've done TOEFL, put that on there. How you passed TOEFL or started the OTED process. Those are all things that are accomplishments, especially when you're coming to the United States. So you want to go ahead and include those. Again, we are, you want to make sure that we verify licenses. That's just a quick overview on how to verify those licenses. And then there is the big Endicott exam. This is the national exam that you'll have to take and pass. Endicott consists of 200 questions. It's a 4-hour exam. It's going to make sure that you are competent to work as an occupational therapist here in the United States. To go ahead and take Endicott, you're going to have to, get your AIN number, register for the exam. But again, those are all, steps that we can walk you through. But the biggest thing is that you know that you have to take this big national exam and that you prepare for it. A lot of candidates, put a lot of time into either doing remediation and taking TOEFL, that they forget about the big, exam that's going to test your competency. And then this is just more on the next slide, just how you have to obtain authorization to test for Endicott. You can't just say, hey, I'm ready to take Endicott now. That's not how that works. In order to be approved by for the Endicott exam, you have to go through the OTED process, so you can't just go ahead and start out at the Endicott exam. So you have to notify us when you're eligible to take the exam if you're working through us. Now, and like I said, you want to prepare for the exam. Here are some, websites that can help you prepare for the exam and some reviews. We also have a lot more books that we can recommend to you here in the United States. Another great preparation on the screen here is the National Occupational Therapy Certification Review by Rita Cottrell. She wrote this book, and it is fabulous. All of our candidates seem to rave about it, so I suggest you do that. Some tips that we have: find study partners, take lots of practice exams, use the resources provided by Endicott. And I believe IER also has their therapy ed. They do PTs, but they also have study guides for OTs as well. So there are a lot of things you want to do to study and prepare. So you pass the exam on the first try. You don't want to put all this emphasis on coming to the U.S. and have to take the Endicott exam numerous times. So after you've gotten through all of that, are you exhausted? Now you let us do mainly all the rest of the work for you. Passport USA is going to secure you with a visa. We're going to get you selected by one of our clients first, whether that be a hospital, skilled nursing facility, home health, or any of those facilities. We'll get you selected by a client, and then we're going to go ahead and secure you a visa. Most likely to start off, we will start with an H-1B visa. I know most Indian candidates are familiar with this visa. It is a temporary visa. It can go up to 6 years. But then we can also assist you with getting a green card. A green card for an occupational therapist does take longer because it is not a Schedule A occupation, but we do get green cards for occupational therapists, so not to worry. What we do is get you here working on an H-1B and then start to work on your green card. And then, here is a breakdown of all the costs and expenses. And it costs about a little over $4,000. And again, some things are going to vary. If you have to take TOEFL more than once, if you have to do anything such as remediation that you didn't anticipate, it could go up from there. But on average, it costs a little over $4,000. Again, you will be reimbursed if you come and work for Healthcare Self-Passport USA program. So, again, you can come here for free if you start working and getting here. Companies don't even, give their candidates. We give you educational reimbursement stipends. We help you get settled in. We give you a housing stipend. We help you get your car. There's just so many great benefits that we offer that other agencies don't offer. Not just that, but alone the expertise of dealing with all the attorneys and specialists that we deal with, that is just, it's something that you can't really quantify. So I say we have great benefits. Do you agree, Andrew?
Yes.
Yes. Again, like I said earlier, we're going to assign you to our client sites. If for some odd reason you didn't like the client site, we could always, work with changing it. But I have to say this is never really an issue. Our candidates settle right in. Our clients embrace them when they come. They're excited to have you join the team. There is a shortage of OTs here in the U.S. They get excited when an OT wants to come and work here. So, they're going to treat you right. We're going to treat you right. So, that, the client assignment is something that you don't have to worry about. Visa sponsorship documents, again, our recruiters walk you through every single document that you're going to have. But if you're wondering, what types of documents am I going to need to have to be sponsored as an occupational therapist? You're going to need resumes. You're going to need transcripts. You're going to need copies of passports, any licenses that you hold. But we normally give you a checklist that says, here is, you're going to get an H-1B. These are the documents you need to submit to us. And a quick thing that I didn't mention earlier with the visas, a lot of Indian candidates are worried about their visas being denied. I never worry about that because it is something that has rarely happened to us. We don't file cases that we don't think are going to be approved. I think out of all the time that I've been here, I've had 2 H-1Bs denied, and that is remarkable for the number that we file. And the ones that were denied, we actually appealed because we believe that USCIS made a massive mistake. But what we ended up doing is not even waiting for the appeals process because it takes forever. We just refiled again because we knew we were right, and then the candidate's visa was approved. So we've never had a candidate that we've submitted and not gotten here to the U.S. So I think that's something that should tell you a lot about us, that we're very good at our job. And then, again, we prepare you to come to the U.S. Before you even get here, we tell you this is what you're going to need. This is how we're going to help you assimilate to come to the United States. We have somebody meet you when you get off the plane. But we will send you program documents on how to get ready to come to the United States and feel confident when you do get here. Now we're going to open it up to any questions you might have. Again, I know this was an extremely dense topic. It is confusing. It is exhausting. There's a lot to go over. That's why it's going to be so great for Andrew to send you the link. We're going to put it online on our website that shows, here's the PDF that you can download. You can also listen to the webinar again online if you want to hear my beautiful voice again. I think Andrew is also hopefully going to be able to show us our website.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to transfer over. One of the things that we use a lot to stay in contact with people, is our Facebook page.
Yeah.
You might have heard about this webinar from Facebook. If you haven't, we suggest you join. I mean, it's a huge community for international healthcare professionals wanting to come to the United States. We've got almost 14,600 people following us on Facebook.
It's a great, like Andrew said, we put great things on there like, hey, this person just passed Endicott today, or this PT just came to the U.S. today. We put on there when we host other webinars like how to pass TOEFL. There'll be links to our website and how to go and listen to other webinars that might interest you. So, this is a great tool for you.
So just scroll through. You can see the invites to different webinars. Here's, and I think what's also fun out there and why, we enjoy the most is we put lots of time and effort into this whole process. We spend months and months working with individual candidates just to get them here. And then they get here, and we get to get nice pictures of where they might be living and our offices. And
yes, Andrew, that cool picture right there, Andrew took that picture of us on the screen, and that is us at the Botanical Gardens with there's me, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candidates that arrived on the same day to come to the United States. And, they came to Cincinnati, and they got to meet us, and then we, dispersed them off to where they were going. They were going all over the place. Some of the candidates were going to Chicago, Illinois, and some of the candidates were going to Houston, Texas, and Dallas, Texas. So they were going all over the U.S., but we brought them here. We fed them well, and we had them enjoy some of the sites here in Cincinnati just to get, used to us and, invite them in. And we treat our therapists like family. Again, we are your home away from home. And somebody does have a question. Pooja, you have a question. It's, how long does the process take if we start from today? That is a loaded question, Pooja. I would have to be able to look at your documents, and I welcome you to submit an application into Passport USA so we could start looking at your documents. But the process, I like to tell people, can go as fast as you want it. And I would say, if you haven't started anything and you started today, it would take you probably 6 to 12 months. But I don't know if you've taken TOEFL. I don't know if you've started the process. But if you haven't, and we're starting to gather up all your documents, by the time everything happens, I would say about 12 months.
I think that's the question we have for now. So
please feel free to contact us. Our contact information is everywhere on our website. So we are here. We are here to help you. We are here to get you to the United States, and we're excited to have you. It was a pleasure talking to all of you this morning. I appreciate you joining us, and I hope you have a fabulous Thursday evening.